eating a delicious meal or watching a beautiful scenery or listening to melodious music. So how we can use our senses to attach to God and also progress in the spiritual journey as well as enjoy the material happiness. So is it wrong to enjoy the material happiness? Thank you.
Desire for happiness will always remain, no matter where you are in this journey. However, the kind of happiness that you select is what will determine the purity of your mind and the level of your consciousness. So material happiness is also in three categories. There is sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. What is tamasic happiness? In the mode of ignorance, the happiness you get from intoxicants, the happiness from laziness, the happiness from venting your anger, so happiness from violence. This is all tamasic. Then there's rajasic happiness, the happiness you get when the senses come in contact with the objects. So higher than that is the sattvic happiness, like you were saying, enjoying a beautiful scenery or relishing good material knowledge, etc., appreciating the sunset. These are all examples of sattvic happiness. Now, tamasic happiness, it literally throws our soul into darkness. Therefore, it is strongly forbidden. A rajasic happiness, the whole world is running after it. The problem there is what? There is no satiation. The more you try and fulfill the desires of the senses, the more they get inflamed. Now, sattvic happiness. Sattvic happiness is uplifting. It makes the mind peaceful. It leads to the development of virtues within you. So, there is no harm relishing sattvic happiness to a certain extent. However, we need to remember that even that is binding. And if we remain in that, we will lose sight of the ultimate goal. That is why keep your supreme goal as divine bliss. But because you are not there at present, to a limited and regulated extent, if you do spend your time relishing sattvic happiness, I don't see a problem in that.
Swamiji, I have a question. Like whenever I try to do something, like I already expressed one of my confusion that while I was trying to go to Bangladesh, I had some negative thinking that few things are happening because me going there. And also when I'm trying to do some work, like how I can disassociate myself from accepting a result to be right or wrong. Like how I can like comply myself to do nishkam karma instead of like thinking of what will happen if I do this and what will happen if I do not do this.
Okay. Well, I think one has to be practical in life. What does it mean to be practical? You have a limited amount of knowledge. So situations are always complicated. And sometimes it becomes difficult to understand that which course of action is the right one. Right? But nevertheless, you have to make a decision. So based on the understanding you have gathered from the scriptures, from the saints, from the guru, based on that knowledge, you decide on a path and then move ahead on it. It is possible the path was not right, but it is better to move ahead than to keep standing. And as we proceed, we will get more and more clarity, and then possibly we can make changes. So life is a continuous unfolding process. If you think you can see the whole journey from now, it's not possible. You can see 30 yards, you move ahead 30 yards. Again, when you move ahead, like if you're holding a lantern, when you move ahead 30 yards, you can see another 30 yards. And this way you continue. So to whatever extent we can understand, we act accordingly. There is a difference between being solution oriented and problem oriented. So if our mind keeps dwelling on problems, this is a problem, that is a problem, that is a problem, there is no dearth of problems, they are all over us. Because this is the material world, it's a place of problems. But somebody who is effective in life does not bother about problems. The proper attitude is being solution oriented. Solution oriented means if I can solve this, let me do it. If I cannot solve it, let me accept it. Just like this present corona epidemic. Now the whole world has accepted it. What is it that each of us little can do? Right? So we learn to accept things that we cannot solve. That is why I love this prayer which says, "Oh Lord, give me the strength to change what I can in my life. The forbearance to tolerate what I cannot change. And the wisdom to know the difference." So factually, these three sentences are very important.